Today is Peter Hook, the guitarist from New Order, who's currently busy working on another project. It's a band called Revenge. Let's find out about that and himself as we say good morning to Pete. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Revenge. Presumably this doesn't mean the end of New Order.
No. I mean, I spent too much of my life to give it up like that. No, I mean, the idea was just to have a bit of time off. And we have had a bit of time off now. It's been nearly 2 years. It's amazing. Time flies when you're enjoying yourself, doesn't it?
That's it, apart from the World in Motion project.
Yeah, I mean, we came back for that one, which was quite good. It came in quite a good time with all this Manchester thing. It was nice to not do anything for a year and a half, then come back straight in at number one. That shows these kids.
What do you think of the Manchester scene, actually? Because, I mean, you've been there, you've done it. How do you feel now it's suddenly, blown into the 1990s?
I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, to me, it's like the rest of the world catching up. So it's quite. I find it quite funny. You can get quite smug about it. I mean, with the hacienda and stuff, it's like it was important years ago. And I mean, the whole point about life is being in the know, I suppose. And it's just nice to think, oh yeah, you were right. you were right to do it, or whatever. So it's just it's a nice compliment.
Do you think they're doing anything new, though? Or do you think they literally have jumped onto this Manchester bandwagon thing?
No,
whatever comes out of Manchester?
I don't think that's important. I mean, I think the important thing is that, you can't argue with success, and no matter what you personally think of bands, the fact that they're selling records all over the world and they're successful, you can't argue with that. I mean, all the rest is down to personal taste. I mean, to me, it's very gratifying that bands like Happy Mondays, because, I mean, I've seen them work very hard for, a long time. And now that they've finally made it and can enjoy the fruits of the labour or whatever, that's great to me.
But will they still be here in 10 years' time?
I don't think that's important. I think you should live for today.
Okay, well, let's talk about your new group, which is called Revenge. Tell us about the new band. How did you get it all together?
Well, I basically just started working with two friends of mine because I didn't really relish the idea of having time off. I thought I'd save that for me 40s, if you like. So, I mean, it just came about through that. I just didn't really know what I was going to do. I was missing playing live already. I mean, it was 6 months after New Order had last played. And I just wanted to get back to tread the boards. I suppose I rushed it a bit now, looking back on it. I should have took a bit longer. But, who cares?
Was there something that you wanted to do within this group that you felt that New Order had never done?
No, there was nothing. There was no. I mean, people find it quite hard to believe that you were quite happy musically. I mean, I am still happy musically. I just basically wanted a bit more freedom. I mean, after 10, 12, 14 years of being together, it's like a marriage. Everyone needs a holiday. Come on, you can't do it like that. So I think we just basically wanted to find yourself. I mean, it's like when I was doing the roundup of the year, Melody Maker said to me, can you tell me what the 80s meant for you? And I sat down and I thought, oh my God, it only meant New Order, because I couldn't remember anything else. Everything else took a backseat, your family, everything. And it was just nice to sort of find yourself again. I think it was important for all of us in New Order to find yourself again. So, nice.
Are you heading off in a musical direction with Revenge than you were with New Order, or do you find the influence from New Order is still very much within the new project?
Well, I mean, the influence is still very much because, like, in Revenge, I'm the most experienced, so I'm the most pushy, one with the biggest mouth and all that. So I tend to get a lot of my own way. But I mean, the thing is that now that's changing. Now that the others who are very young and also nowhere near as experienced as I am, whatever, they're sort of catching up now. And they're sort of saying to me, oh no, and like the new things that we're doing now, I mean, we're getting ready to do our second LP now in March, and it's like it's a lot different, which is nice. And also on the first LP, I played very little bass, and I regret that now. I think it was a mistake, and they're making me play more bass. So whether that makes it sound more like New Order or not, it's just nice to be sort of pushed into doing that,
With you being the experienced member of the band and also having the links with New Order, it obviously makes you the central person within the band. Is that something that you wanted?
No, not at all. I hate all that responsibility. I'd just rather go back to New Order and play bass, I think. I'm sick of sorting out checkbooks and all that rubbish. No, I mean, it's not... I didn't want that. I don't like it. I prefer to share everything. I mean, in Revenge, I make sure now that I don't do a lot, basically, because I am at heart lazy, I suppose. But I'm making sure that I'm not doing everything. I'm letting them do it. And, you know, I mean, they are younger than me, so they've got a lot more energy, bloody hell.
But with it being your project, do you find it difficult to suddenly be told what to do?
No, it's not exactly my project. I mean, the thing was, I started it off to share. I didn't start it off as, you know, Peter Hook's Revenge, and I sort of resist that anyway. But I do want to share it with them. They're just as important as I am, if not more.
Right.
So...
Have you found people are trying to put the group into a category?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you compare to New Order all the time. I mean, it's funny because it's like after all this time in music, I didn't think I had anything to learn, right? You get very blasé about it. And then coming in as a singer and realising that basically I didn't know anything about writing vocals, lyrics, anything. I had to learn it all. And it came as a bit of a shock because you just tend to get a bit, you know, a bit full of yourself. And I realised I had a hell of a lot to learn. And it was very difficult, and it made me sympathise with Bernard a lot, because Bernard basically did it on his own very much. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, you know, I wish I didn't have to do it on my own. I should have helped him, you know, but it's always too late. It's always too late to find out something like that. So like the first LP was very much a training ground for me. I thought I knew how to write songs, and then all of a sudden I realised I didn't. To me, a song used to be finished when you used to put the bass on, and that isn't correct. So I did have a lot to learn. It has taught me a lot.
So did you turn to anybody for advice on that subject?
Only the people that I was working with in Revenge, like Dave and CJ and stuff. They helped me a lot more than I helped Bernard, which is one thing I deeply regret, you know. But I mean, you can't turn the clock back anyway, so...
It must be quite nice, though, to get the opportunity to start writing songs. And
yeah, I mean, it is
stuff that you believe in, or...
I mean, it wasn't as if I grasped it at first. It's a very strange concept, writing, for people, because, I mean, the thing about the written word or the spoken word is obviously it's what people latch onto straight away. And it's quite a responsibility, but it is, like you say, a very nice freedom to have, to think that you can express yourself in a way that people are going to latch onto straight away. It's nice. It's a very powerful position. I think you have to be, you do have to be a little bit careful about how you approach it.
What sort of things are you writing about?
It's just life, my life. Nothing specific. I've never enjoyed listening to people when they've been specific about songwriting. I don't know, you know, I tend to listen to it for a different reason. I mean, if I look at the words of a song, you know, 9 times out of 10 I'm usually disappointed because I always thought they were better. So I tend to do that to other people. I hope that they think my words are better without me being specific about it.
So you don't draw your inspiration from anything, I mean, you know, as you're sort of travelling on a train or whatever, you know?
No, it tends to be more from, you know, life, personal relationships and things like that. It tends to occupy me most of the time.
Do you find that, I mean, it sounds like a 24-hour job, really, though, because you're always looking for the next song, because you're always looking for the next lyrics. Do you find that your mind is constantly active, you know, and you're always working as such?
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole point about being self-employed, really. It came as a great shock to me that it's like going to the doctors and saying, oh, you'll have to have a week off, and you thinking, I can't have a week off. I can't have a week off. What am I going to do? Oh, my God. You know, you tend to have to work all the time, basically because you want to, which is the greatest thing. Yeah, I mean, that, after working, as I did, for other people for quite a while in my youth, I'm really happy with the job I've got. It gives me a lot of satisfaction, and it gives the people that I work with a lot of satisfaction. And, you know, I'm very, very grateful for that.
So going back to the early days of New Order, and of course Joy Division before that, how did it all start? How did you get involved in it all? What were you doing before that?
Oh my God, I used to work at the docks in Manchester.
Right.
How did it all start? I mean, I had an interest in music, not a deep interest, but just went to see the Sex Pistols one day after seeing them on the cover of Melody Maker, and that was it. I just thought they were awful, terrible. And I thought, God, I could do that, I'm sure. Which is why I used to really sort of relish the way that people used to look at New Order live and say, my God, this band may make great records, but they're terrible. And I used to think, right, great, as long as some kid comes and watches you and thinks, God, he's terrible, I could do that. You know, then that sort of perpetuates what I did. So
you didn't have any influence in the early days from the Sex Pistols? It was just a group that you went along to watch?
No, I mean, the influence was in the attitude. It was like a freedom.
Right.
You know, it was like all of a sudden realising that you didn't have to have a 9-to-5 job, which I think I'd had drummed into me from an early age, that you should conform or whatever. I mean, I didn't, but, you know, it's like there's a certain way of living that a lot of people adhere to, and it was a big leap to get away from that, for me anyway.